Hi there. My name is Amanda Berg, and I would love to be considered for the open board member position for the NHSSCA. The impact that this organization has had on me in such a short amount of time, both personally and with my coaching, has been, I mean, life-changing, really. It really has. I know before the NHSSCA, which was the majority of my career, and to now, which has been a shorter part of my career, I know I've definitely grown. But what has made the biggest difference is the sense of community that I now have around me because fully because of this organization. Before, it was isolation. I was definitely the only coach in my district. I'm from a mid-sized public school. And the only reason we had a strength coach was because I had a passion with strength and conditioning, and I wanted to give it to the kids. That's why we had a strength and conditioning position, not because there was definitely a need for one, but there was so much isolation for so long, and I wasn't able to connect with any other coach that did what I did in a school very well. I was able to learn from others, maybe by watching them or maybe by reading an article of some sort. But other than that, I was really kind of making it up as I go. And now the sense of community, the amount of people that I can simply lean on for anything that I can think of related to coaching, related to life in general, it's made such a difference. And it's made my job definitely easier in that it's not all what I'm making up, but it's also made my job harder, which I love the challenge because there's so many great coaches out there that I get to work with now and I get to be around and learn from. So definitely going from isolation to the sense of community. I would say number 2 would be growth on my end. When I started in strength and conditioning and throughout most of my career, the value of a strength coach and the value I valued in myself was that of probably just a free coach or maybe a junior high salary. And now I realize definitely monetary value. We do a lot of work and we're doing just as much work as any other sport coach, and we deserve to be compensated that way. But also just the value to the coaching staff and the value to the athletic department, and being able to learn to advocate for myself and now advocate for others has been a really, really big part as far as growth on my end. Then, the advocacy piece. Adding in the advocacy piece, I never thought that I would be an advocate for strength and conditioning. I was an athlete who loved to lift weights and loved to learn about the human body. And now being in this organization has brought forth, different conversations and then bringing out maybe some gaps and issues in the strength and conditioning industry. And I've been able to step forward and find a way to advocate and to bring awareness regarding strength and conditioning and awareness of definitely who is in strength and conditioning. Being a woman in strength and conditioning, I was just thought I was a coach, but then now meeting a lot more strength coaches, I do see that there's a need, or that if a woman is a coach, they may be getting out of the industry earlier, and I'm able to help advocate for that. So I wouldn't have had the courage to advocate for that if I hadn't been able to talk to so many different people in this organization. So I'm so grateful. I do think I would be a very great fit to serve as a board member for you. I think as a state director and the way that I've evolved through these last couple of years, and how we're spreading the word with the NHSSCA would probably be a great indication. I think first and foremost, it is developing connections and a feeling of belonging. And that's definitely been something that I have done well. I reach out to others with cards, phone calls, short conversations, checking in on others. And that's been great at the state level where our numbers were able to do that. And I would really like to evolve as a person and seeing how this organization is going to grow so much, and being able to have that same level of belonging and connection at a global level and with a lot of people. That would be a great learning curve on my end, and I know I'd be up for the challenge. The next level with that I've learned with the state director is it's not enough just to connect with the people who are already involved. In order to gain more membership, going out to other organizations and hopefully shedding light and realization on how many people are impacted by the weight room that are in athletics. Being able to go out to athletic director organizations and bring in speakers and ask to be at their conferences, being able to go into the physical education. I'm a physical education teacher first and a strength and conditioning coach second. Well, as a teacher, there might be a little bit of a disconnect a lot of times, an intimidation factor of bringing kids into the weight room and doing it safely and teaching it at all levels. So I would really be an advocate for that and finding a comfortable way. We at Minnesota have just had a partnership with the Society of Health and Physical Education Professionals. I'm so excited about that, and it's going to just shed light on how much of a role so many people have in the weight room. And then next, going into the sport, the sport coaches, our advisory board has done such a great job of reaching out to every single sport coach organization and asking to bring in a speaker and simply creating awareness first. And then that is going to be able to bring the members. So I'd be a great advocate as far as so many lens. The other is the influence I have. We have a podcast called the Big Time Strength Podcast. And through hosting this podcast, we've seen how much other coaches love to learn from people and the openness of coaches. And so I have a lot of access of being able to go, if there's somebody in a certain industry, whether it be the private sector, whether it be the public school setting, whether it be the private school setting, I'm going to be able to, reach out to them and get their feedback or get the information that we need for this organization. So I'm excited for that. And to finish up, I'd like to talk a little bit about the time that it is going to take for this position and my availability for it. In truth, I'm going into this very courageously, not necessarily knowing very much what the open board member position really is, or what it entails and what it entails as far as my end. But I'm guessing it will be a lot of time. I'm guessing it will be a lot of courageousness on my end, taking some chances. But I'm excited to do that. And I do know where I will prioritize my time will be with the NHSSCA. They don't say follow your passion, follow your time. And for me, this has been an organization that I will make the time. If there's an event, if there's something related to it, I will make the time to do that I'm saying no to a lot of other things in order to do that. So you will get the time that I have and the availability that I have, and you will definitely get effort out of me. That's that's what I put so much effort into all that I do. And this is where I would like to see my effort go for the forthcoming years. So before we go, I want to make sure to say a huge thank you for what leadership you have already showed in definitely the U.S., but all around related to strength and conditioning, and how this is just continually growing and growing. And I appreciate everything. And this is a next step, taking this opportunity to have an open board member position. So thank you for considering me, and I look forward to hearing from you.